Good morning, students. Today our topic is SQL functions, and in this lecture we are going to discuss some date functions and date and time functions regarding to MySQL. And this is our last topic as far as the MySQL is concerned. So let us consider. Let us take one by one. First of all, MySQL now function, as the name says, now function. So it exactly returns the current date and time, and the format of the date and time is year, month, date, hours, minute, and seconds. So this is a default format which is provided by MySQL. So you have to just use now, now, and now is written with select statement, because individual function cannot be play any role when we just write it on MySQL using MySQL. So just select, and then after function name, that is now. So this is a now function, and it tells the current date and time. Always remember that. And we can use it in three different ways: now, and then return now, then it returns current date and time. If we just write now plus 1, then it returns current date and time plus 1. Okay, so that is the use of now plus 1. And if we want to know the if we want to know let us see in another example. We want to show the data regarding to a table. Okay, so now function basically returns the current date and time, so we can use it only two ways. Just take now, and if you want to take time plus 1, then you can take a now plus 1 function. And always remember that it returns the data in the formats of year, month, and date, and then after hours, minute, and seconds, and separated by dash sign. So let us see this, and we execute this command in MySQL. So go to this MySQL, and let us see what happens. First of all, it asks for password. Okay, and then you can use any database which exists here. The database name is which is already exist. I know it because I created it. So database changed here, you can easily see that. Now just write select and now is a function. Let us see what happens. And after the semicolon sign, and it returns a date to us. You can see that 2027/30, so 30 July 2020, and time is 2 a.m. 42 minutes and 4 seconds. And select now plus 1, what happens? You can easily see that now the time format is little bit changed, and you can see that there is no dash sign here appears here, and the format is 2007 2027 30 and 24 42 and 23. Okay, so that is a use of now plus 1 function. 2 42 23 is the time seconds. So this is the use of now function, now and now plus 1 function. Now plus 1 function is written time plus 1. So next our topic regarding to MySQL date and time function is date function. Always remember that now plus 1 function returns current date and time plus 1. Date function, as the name says, date function, it extracts the date part of a date time expression. So if we give a date in a date function or pass as a parameter value within a date function, then it returns us a date. When we give a date in the forms of year, month, and date, then it returns only a date, or we can say that it extracts the date part. So there is only one value in it, and the syntax is very simple. We just write date and then an expression in terms of date, and date is given first of all the year, and then month, and then last date. So it's the expression which we pass here is a valid date and date time value. We can also give a date time value, and it returns null if expression is not a date or a date time. So if we give a wrong date, or the date is not exactly exist, or expression is not a date, then it doesn't show any error, but it returns as a null value. So it returns as a date when we give a date in a format year, month, and date, and even if the time value is also given, then it also returns up a date for that particular date, month, year format, month, year, month, and date format. Let us see it. So just and date should be marked within double quotes, and here three examples here are given. You can see here, first one, date is given. Second, date and time both are given. And third part, there is a string which contain a date also, but it contains some string part also. So whether it returns a date or not, we can check it. Or and if there is a table exists, suppose order is a table, and in which there is a date column, and we want to extract the date from there is a column named order date, and we want to extract the date from column named order date, then it is also possible using this function. So let us check it. This is my SQL. And just write date function with select statement. You can easily see the date as CLECT select date and give any date, which is current date or a previous date, whatever it is. It extract the date 2020, and then let us say month is 7, separated by a dash sign. You can easily see that. So you can take any date here, 2020, 7 and 29, 29th July 2020. Let us see what happens. Is it written as 29? So after the execution, you can easily see that it takes some time here, and okay, now you can see that date 2027. So it returns a date to us. It is a date to us. But what happens if we give a date in the format of date and timestamp also? Let us check it. Let us say any time given to it. And always remember that if you don't give any space between date and time, it will always give you an error, just like that. 29, then 9, and then colon, then 34, and then colon 21. It means first is hour, then 34 is minute, and 21 is second. Okay, null value it because it is as I told you earlier that there is a wrong format. There is a wrong format. then it will also give you then it will always give an a null value. It doesn't show any type of error, so error will not be shown in this, and it is already explained in this video. So proper format should be there, and if there is no proper format here, then it will always give you an null value. It always give you a null value. Now let us take another example. You can see that here. Now time is correct here, so you can see that the date will be written. And next, if you give a string with date, then what happens is MySQL capable to find out the date. So I just try testing here. The date is 2027-29, and let us check it. Okay, null value is given. So the main point is, when there is a no format apply within the date parameter, then it will always give you a null value, and it doesn't show any error. Next is MySQL month function. As the name suggests, month function. So obviously this function returns the month part of the given date, and it returns a number from 1 to 12. And the syntax is very simple. Just type month and then after the date, and it will return a month of the date, and parameter values are only the single value date which is required, and the date or the date time to extract the month from. So date is nothing but only the date or date time, so both may be included. It may be a date, or it may be a date time to extract the month from. And let us take an example. Suppose there is an example returns the month part of the date. So just write select month 2017 6 and 15. So it will give you a month starting, and month starts from basically 1 to 12. So let us check it. And another example of this is, month may be given in the date format or date and time format. So both of them are valid, and it basically gives us a month, and month is nothing but only a number from 1 to 12. So only a single parameter value is given to it, and it is a date, whether it is a date format or whether it is a date and time format. Let us check it. The functions of date and time are very simple as compared to string functions and aggregate functions. So they, as the name suggests, they just do these things. They are capable to do these things, and here you can easily see that. Now second example given in the forms of date and timestamp also. And if you want to find out the month of a current date is a function which always return you a current date, so it will return you a month of the current date. So let us check it. Here you can see that select date, instead of date we just write here month, and let us see what happens. MONTH, just type this and then press enter. After semicolon you can see that 7. Okay, and as I told you that it always give you a number from 1 to 12, so 7 is there, And if you give a value in terms of date and timestamp, then it also gives you a desired result. So select month and then date. Let us see what happens. Okay, 7 is again the answer. Now let us check it with current date option. There is one more option, current date. CURDATE, current date. So just write CURDATE. And let us check what happens. It actually returns the month of current date. And it is also 7 because today is 30 July 2020. So 7 is the answer. Next, select current date. Okay, that is the current date. 2027, month 7 in July, and 30 is the date. That is the rule of current date function also. You can also find, if you want to find out the current date, then you can apply CURDATE function, current date function. And next is MySQL month name function. As the name suggests, so this function returns the name of the month for a given date. This function, a month name function, returns the name of the month for a given date. And syntax is very simple, just write month name and then within parentheses write a parameter value, and that is a date. And parameter is only a single parameter here, date, which is required, and the date or date time value to extract the month name from. So again it will take two types of value, whether it is a single date or date with time, means date time value. So two types of values are we can pass within month name, in month name, and to let us see the example of it, some example of it. So it will give you a month name. Month actually returns a value in terms of number, start from 1 up to 12, but month name gives you the name of month. So that is a basic difference between month and month name function. And as far as parameter value is concerned, so both of them take a date or date time value. So let's see it. You can easily see that there are three examples of month name. First, we can pass, in first example we just pass a simple date. In second example we pass a date with timestamp, and third we use current date function, CURDATE, current date. So again it is used with same parameters as we used in a month function, date with timestamp, and current date. So I think now it is clear to all of you. Let us check its execution. Select month, and instead of month we just write month name. month name. You can easily see that. Now let us see what happens. Press enter. July. So month name, return you a name of month, and here let us change again. Now if we take with take it with a date and timestamp value, it will also gives you a current result. And let us now here change the name of month value 1, so January will be written by this function. Okay, now January is the answer. And if you just give a where if you want to just know the month name of current date, then just write select month name and then current date. July is the answer. Okay, so that is the use of month name function. You can use it with simpler date or a date time value, or you can use it with current date. Now our next topic is, after month name we can take year. So obviously year returns year, and it were number from 1000 to 9999. So the year function returns the year part of a given date, and the number from 1000 to 9999. And syntax is very simple, just write year and then pass a date as a parameter. So there is only single parameter value, date, which is required, and it is the date and date time to extract the year from. So again we can take a date and date time. Now example number 1 with simple date. Just write select year and then date, and you can also give a date value with the time stamp. And third is we can use it with current date function also. So these are the three possibilities of year function. You can pass simply date with time, and you can use it with current date also. So it will always give you a value of year. Let us check it whether it gives a correct result or not. Okay, my SQL just write month name. Instead of month name we just write year 2020. Let us see what is the output. Okay, 2020 is the output. And if you write year name, is it given a year name? No, this type of function does not exist. So like month and month name, year and year name are not there. There is only year function. Okay, now let us find out the year with year and time format, date and time format. So just write year you can see that 2020 is the year. And third example with current date. With current date you can also, there is a function named current date. Now let us check an year again. First of all, yes, now years is when we change the year, then year will change here. 2021 is a year. Next is current date function. 2020 is the answer. Okay. Now MySQL day function. So the MySQL day function returns the day of a month for a given date from 1 to 31. And this function is equal to the day of month function. So you can use a day function, or you can also use day of month function. Both are the same. And there is only single parameter value in it, that is the date which is required. And the day it required, it basically gives the date to extract the day from. The date to extract the day from. An example is given here. Select day 2017 6/15. 2017 is the name of year, 6 is the month in June, and 15th is the date. So it will always give you a value, and you can also pass timestamp value, date and time value. Let us check it what it gives us your value. And select here is write, instead of year name you can write here day. It will give you a value of 29. Okay, 29 is the answer. And there is another function named day name which give you a name of day. You can use it with the current date and date with time values. So here now next is day name function. And always remember that day is equal to day of month function. Let us check it with the date and time value. Again it will give you correct answer. 29 is the answer. And if you want to check it with current date function, then it also give you a current date, current day, and today is 30 July, so it will give you 30. And now I think it is clear to all of you that how this function basically work. Our next function is day name function. as the name says day name, so it basically returns you a weekend name of a given date. So there is only single parameter value passed within it, as you can see here, and day name will be returned, and you can pass the parameter value with date and date time format. Let us check it. You can see here 2027-29. So let's type day name 2027, 29, and 29 July 2020. There is a Wednesday, so answer is Wednesday. And the current date, if you just write 2021 129 1 January 29, is a Friday. 29 January 2021, there is a Friday. And for current date, let us check it with current date also. Current date is here is a 30 July, and today is Thursday. So let us check. Okay, Thursday's answer. Now these are the functions related to MySQL. Now MySQL is complete. My total functions in MySQL, whether it is aggregate function, wait function, or string functions, or math functions, all are completed. So thanks for watching this video.